Amir is he is general manager of food, beverage, and restaurants at Attentive, and I think you're going to be talking to us today about using SMS marketing to reach hungry customers and build diner loyalty.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, thanks so much.
Take it away.
Hello.
Big round of applause for Amir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. This is my first time doing this post-pandemic. I'm used to a Zoom screen, a keyboard. So I don't know what to do with my hands, so bear with me a little bit. The other thing I'll say is, if you text on your phone during the next 10 minutes, I don't mind. It actually makes the case for what we're talking about today. Speaking of which, show me your hand if you got a text message this morning or last night. All right. Show me your hand if you're a brand that sent a text message this week to your customers. 1, 2. All right. We'll talk about that. That's what we're talking about today. So just an introduction for today. I'm an agenda slide kind of person. I like the audience to know what's coming next. This is the agenda. Soak it in. That's what we're talking about today. Quick introduction. As he mentioned, I run our food and beverage vertical team. We work with everybody from QSRs to fast casual to grocery to delivery to alcohol now to food subscriptions. Anything you consume by mouth in the middle, we work on it. I'm also joined by Mr. John Cox there, who came from New York. Make sure you say hi to him. He's all the way here. And today we're going to talk about some of the trends in SMS marketing and ultimately why it's becoming the newer channel, even though it's been around for decades. The first thing to talk about is just the company. So we've been around since 2016. We're relatively newer if you think about some of the marketing clouds that have been around for a while, but we've had some incredible growth. I joined last March. We're 250 employees. Today, we're over 1,100 employees. We've grown to over 4,000 customers globally. We've had some incredible financing and backing, some great accolades you guys can read about on our NASCAR slide. But the big thing we walk away from we're proud of is across the billions of messages we sent and the 4,000 plus clients we work with and over 300 in food and beverage, we're driving 20% of online revenues from SMS channel itself. So the proof is in the pudding. We know there's revenue there, and that's ultimately why we're growing and companies are working with us. We've had some great recognition from Forbes and LinkedIn you guys can read about. And also Disney actually included us in their most recent accelerator program, which is a global program that only includes about a handful of clients. So if you haven't heard about Attentive, please check us out. We're doing some great things. And I think we're growing very fast. This slide might upset some people. So consumers are getting harder and harder to reach. And typically right now, the main channels are email and mobile apps. I've worked in the email side, I've worked in the mobile app side. I know they're critical to your strategy, but the reality is it's getting more expensive and harder to get app downloads. We're seeing that push notifications are not always on. So if you have an app, chances are, unless you're in Uber and getting utility messages, you don't have a 100% option for push notifications or location tracking. And we're also seeing that on the email side, although email is still king, I don't disagree there, you're not seeing the same open rates and conversion rates. So ultimately, you're not reaching the entire audience. The other thing we're seeing with the different demographics, some folks never check their email, some folks don't download apps, some folks just don't know your brand well enough to actually go through your loyalty enrollment and app download, right? So we're seeing that today, it's not a complete strategy on just those two channels. And we think SMS is the answer. Here's why. If you think about it, and we talked about TikTok today and Twitter, most consumers are spending their time on mobile devices. So there's mobile commerce, there's a rise of mobile commerce, it's surpassed desktop. And we're seeing that the majority of the time being spent on a smartphone is actually on messaging apps or some sort of messaging app. And this is across Gen Z, millennials, baby movers. I think the alpha generation is coming next. Majority of them spending at least an hour a day on text messaging. I think we can all relate. It's easy to adopt. I text my mother, my brother, my cousin, my nephew. No matter the age, you know how to text message. But at the same time, we're seeing that this is becoming the newest way to reach your audience, even if they're already kind of active in your other channels as well. The other part about this is that we feel that the phone number has become one of the most important and one of the most valuable data points when it comes to first-party customer information. First of all, it's very accurate. Most of us only have one phone, right? There's probably 2 people that I've met that have 2 phones because they don't want to mix work and personal. Majority of us have one phone. The other thing is it's constant. I have not changed my phone number since high school. I kid you not. I've changed carriers, I've changed devices, but I will not change this phone number. It's actually part of my identity. I've memorized it. I don't care how many spam calls I get. I'm not changing my phone number, right? The third thing is it's non-shared. Now, I know some parents have to give their phone to their kids to buy some time, some me time, but the majority of us don't share this phone. It's not a landline when there's a whole family using it. It's typically your phone. It's in your hip. It's your device. And the last thing is, for better or worse, it's always on. I've recently moved my phone out of the bedroom. The majority of us actually sleep with our phones next to us. And because of this, we're actually checking 90% of our text messages in less than 5 minutes when we get it. So in terms of a channel of activation, a channel of communication, nothing comes close to SMS. And I think this is why it's been practically reinvented. Because again, SMS has been a while for decades, but the format we're doing it today is completely different. The first part we see though is growth. The majority of the customers and companies who do SMS today, they're capturing phone number when somebody's already in their checkout flow. So you're already about to buy, you're in the cart, you're filling out your app profile, you're going through your loyalty enrollment, and the phone number is just something you capture there. Some folks actually get the marketing opt-in, majority of folks don't, it's just transactional. This is one of the first challenges we're seeing, whether it's a technology limitation or compliance concerns, we're seeing that brands aren't necessarily putting this as a growth channel. Our clients and the 4,000 clients and some from the folks like Melt Shop in the room, they're leveraging the new strategy. So what we're doing is we're saying all your traffic, all the media spend you're doing, the majority of that traffic is going to your mobile website, your desktop, your Instagram, your TikTok, and your stores. So let's leverage that traffic to drive more opt-ins at the top of the funnel. So what you're seeing here is one of our sign-up units. It's completely configurable. If you guys want to grab your phone, which I'm sure you're on right now, just scan this barcode. It'll take you to Melt Shop. Get a nice little sandwich there and a discount. But ultimately, the experience you will see is a two-tap opt-in. The first page captures email. I know I said email, is hard, but email is critical in terms of connecting that identity to SMS. The next screen you're going to see is a button that says, if you want to receive 10% off, opt in for SMS. That deep links to your messaging app, pre-filled with the legal language, the opt-in language. Once you hit submit, you're opted in. We start our audit trail. You from the list, if in case you're a troll that goes and sues people, but there's a lot of compliance built into it. By using this and other formats, we're seeing customers get 5 to 10% of their traffic opting into SMS. So if you're driving all this traffic to your site, 5 to 10% could mean a lot more in terms of growing your database, right? And again, this is just the mobile web. There's desktop, there is Instagram, there is at checkout, there's in-store and offline opportunities as well. The next opportunity is now you're continuously growing your list. It's compliant. You're not worried about getting sued. What do you do next? This is where you can really start to drive some growth and engagement. So we're seeing customers, again, like Melt Shop and Jack in the Box, leverage this to do regional promotion. So if there's a local delivery promotion, maybe there is there's a Padres game or a Chargers game or something you want to do some sort of local promotion. We can geo-target these based on IP location. We're also seeing these as a great way to introduce new flavors, limited time offers, celebrity endorsements, but running campaigns that ultimately bring eyes to your brand and to your content, even if the call to action is to go to another channel, right? And this is where we're seeing a lot of our revenue is coming from in terms of triggered messages and also campaign messages. And after a while, your consumers actually get used to hearing from you once a week, once a month. And this ultimately helps you guys brand the experience itself as well. The other part goes into helping your other existing investments. Like I said, I know apps are critical and loyalty programs are critical. What we're seeing is by capturing that opt-in at the top of the funnel, now you have access to a much broader audience. And from there, you can promote your app download, your loyalty enrollment, all those big dollar investments you're making. SMS can ultimately be fuel for that investment, right? Hey, you need to get 1,000 more downloads. We'll get 1,000 more SMS subscribers and drive them to download your app, right? If you just launched a new loyalty program, if you revamped your loyalty program, which a lot of folks are doing, use SMS to promote that and inform them because again, not everybody in your app actually gets your messages. And the reality is a lot of folks have up to 3 email addresses, 100 emails a day. They're not reading all their emails. So this is a couple of examples how we're using this to drive loyalty and transactions. This next piece is what gets me really excited. So we're seeing that brands that have a two-way conversation with their consumers actually get 3x more revenue and lift. This is because on text messaging, we're used to a conversation. When I text my friends, it's a back and forth, not just a one-way text and it stops right there, right? So this is a great way to not just create a brand experience, but it's also a great way to build your customer profile. So this example is just a simple, flavor profile. What kind of hot sauce do you like? Things could be like, hey, who should be our next celebrity endorsement? Are you a vegan or a vegetarian? Do you want meatless or do you want actual patties, right? Hey, it's the Super Bowl at halftime, who's gonna win it, right? Pick your team and we'll give you the winner some sort of prize. But this has become a really nice way to create engagement with your audience. And I think this is gonna be the next iteration of SMS and mobile commerce. I have also created a little bit of a use case for you guys to try out. So if you want to text QSR to 833-638-6472, it's going to give you a very simple trivia. Most of you probably know the answer. I would encourage you to get it wrong just to kind of see the different experiences. But these are some of the ways we're actually taking SMS, which again has been around for decades, and turning it into a performing channel. And if you look at some of our customer results, whether it's subscriber growth, whether it's ROI, whether it's coupon redemption or overall conversions, the customers we have who are sending continuous SMS campaigns are getting higher revenue per send and higher engagement from a smaller list on SMS versus their apps, their email, and things like that. And then lastly, if you guys want more resources, this QR code will take you to a site we call Text We Love. This is where we aggregate a lot of our 4,000 customers' actual message examples, sign-up units. This is across vertical, subcategory message types. You'll see Melt Shop on there. You'll see Jack in the Box on there, a few of our other clients. And if you have questions, reach out to myself or John after the show, email us, or talk to some of our clients in here. I know there's Capriati's, Fazoli's, Melt Shop, Jack in the Box. They have firsthand experience. They're not going to be as biased as I am. So talk to them. They'll tell you how it is. Thank you so much. Good timing. All right.